Welcome to the Mommy Millennials podcast, where we don't claim to have all the answers, just a willingness to figure it out. We're your hosts, Jocelyn
and Lauren, proud girl moms and best friends sharing our take on mommyhood. Whether you're changing a dirty diaper, stuck in traffic, or just have a minute to yourself,
we're so happy you're here. Hi, Mommy Millennials.
Hi, Mommy Millennials.
Today, we're joined by our friend Lourdes.
Hi, Mommy Millennials.
Yay! We're so excited to have Lourdes on today. Lourdes is a mom of multiples and a longtime friend. Spoiler alert-ish? Spoiler alert-ish? I don't know how to phrase what I want to say, but my sister always makes fun of me for saying this. I want Lourdes to be my best friend. And whenever...
This is awkward.
Whenever Lourdes and Lauren talk without me, I get really upset.
Well, I thought y'all were best friends. No, actually, what had happened was we all got together. I met Lourdes and I was like, wait...
She's dope.
Lourdes is really cool. And I remember telling Jocelyn, wow, Lourdes is really cool. Like, she's the only one I really connected with at that thing we went to.
I don't even remember what it was,
we
but
don't
yeah.
have to talk about it. And then Jocelyn was like, she's my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, no.
She's like, you can't talk. You guys can't have a chat together without me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I let it go. And then I was like, I'm never going to see her again anyway. It's fine. And then you came to my house. We watched Love is Blind. And I was like, Lourdes, we should hang out.
And I was
you
like,
don't
no.
live far from here.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, it is very far.
And Jocelyn was like, absolutely not. You can only do this if I'm present. And I'm like, dang. So literally, like, I always feel like anytime we interact, I have eyes on me.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
I believe it.
Hawk
I believe it.
I'm
so
like, don't you
just,
dare.
Just know that
Dibs.
in another lifetime, we would be besties.
You'll have to wait for me to die.
But honestly, I'm so excited to have Lourdes on for everything we just said. But because we need to talk about you being a badass mom to twin boys.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself,
It's a lot.
we should have a trophy for her.
For real.
Missed opportunity.
We messed up. So, Lourdes, I mean, I remember when you told me you were having twins.
Yes.
And I was like, but what went through your mind when the doctor told you were having twins?
I mean, I was shocked. So first of all, my husband and I were very much like, will we have kids? Won't we have kids? We'll leave it up to the universe to decide, right? So first it was just accepting that we were pregnant. That was a big deal, at least for me.
Yeah.
And we went into our 8-week scan and I was like, great, we're going to find out like how the baby is doing. And I clearly remember like the tech came and was like, she's like, okay, here's the baby. And I was like, oh, and she's like, and here's another. I like laughed, like audibly cackled, and then I started crying. And, like, that was my reaction.
Because you're like, she's not
Lying because I can see what 2 little sacks. And I was like, wait, what? And then I look over to Jose, my husband, and he's just kind of mouth open, like no noise. And I'm just like, okay. And honestly, I don't really remember what happened after that. They gave us a little pictures. They sent us back to the waiting room. And we didn't say anything to each other for like a good minute. And we were just looking and just in shock of what is happening. And then we got seen by the doctor. And the doctor's like, well, you're having twins. And I'm just like, yeah, I just found out too.
Oh my God.
I was just never in a million years did I think that would happen to me.
Yeah.
And it was just a whirlwind of like, okay, well, I'm very much a person that I like to know what I'm getting myself into. So I'm like research mode. What does this mean? And the doctor's like, well, you're of a certain age, so you're advanced maternal age. It means this and this and this. I went down the rabbit hole once I got home. I was like shell shocked. And through the rabbit hole of information that I was researching, you always get things that are not fun that you learn within the first trimester. And one of the things that came up that was really scary for me, which is why I didn't tell anyone that I was pregnant until after the first trimester, was that when you have twins, sometimes there's this thing called vanishing twin syndrome, where one baby, you can miscarry one baby or your body absorbs the baby. And that was like super scary. And that was like one of probably the main things that got me really anxious about having twins within the first trimester. I was like, okay, well, I just want to make sure that I get through that. And on Reddit, of course, there's people that went through that, and they're just like, that happened to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, real, in the sense that like there are people that it has happened to. Just like that was just the scarier part. And everything else just kind of came along together. But yeah, I was like, first reaction, it was a cackle and a cry. So yeah.
Cackle and a cry. We should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, we should.
I have so many thoughts. One, Reddit is both a blessing and a curse,
Yes.
but we don't have to dive into that. I also remember when I knew you were pregnant. I did not predict twins. I'll say that.
That's true.
But remember? Do you remember?
I
At my
remember
house?
that once it came out that she was pregnant, you were like, I already knew it.
Yeah.
And
I
I
was
tell
like,
you the night of.
no.
Okay.
And I was like, what? How?
I was like,
And
this
you were
is
like,
why
it was
I need to
obvious.
be besties with Lourdes because I know her better than you.
Yeah, for real.
No,
I was
but
like,
we were-
all I remember is I was like, Lourdes, do you not like sushi?
Right.
Because it had
Yes,
been
yes.
a few times. And you were like, no, I'm just not very hungry or something.
So yeah, we had ordered sushi twice in a row.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't remember why you said no the first time. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
She had said she had just had sushi.
Okay.
Yes.
She
Was
was like,
that
oh,
true?
I just had sushi a
I
couple
don't-
days
I
ago.
I think that actually was
I think
true.
that was true.
The second time
The
it
second
was
time
not.
it was not. So we were eating. So it was the sushi that was a giveaway, but then also we were watching Love is Blind, and somehow we started talking about parenting, and Lourdes was passionate. Like Lourdes was passionate
She was
about
into it, yeah.
so many things regarding parenting, and I was like, am I talking to a mom right now? Because
I was
mean,
so oblivious.
because
You were
I was
just, like,
pregnant.
Yeah.
you were pregnant.
I was pregnant.
So-
but I was like, Lourdes, are you sure you don't want to have kids? Everybody's talking about what a good mom you're going to be.
And I was like, she's already a mom. Like, and I just stayed quiet because it's like, I don't know her that well yet, let me just stay in my little corner. But I just knew. And so I don't actually remember when you officially told
I think it was like
us or if Jocelyn told me, but
it's like March or April, I think.
yeah, but I don't remember when I found out. I just know that I said I knew it.
You did, yeah.
And you guys were like so thoughtful. You were like, do you not like sushi? Because like I remember I told Jose, I'm like they're gonna order from this place, and I'm like, I'll just order something else.
You got
and then I was
dumplings.
like, yes, and I was just like, they're not gonna notice, and whatever. And I was just like, they asked me why I don't like sushi. I'm like, who does? Like, who notices that? And I'm just like, he's just like, do you think they know? And I was like, I don't know. I was
It's
just
because
like,
Jocelyn's
I
nosy.
definitely did not know. I definitely did not. But I felt so bad because it was your first couple times coming
Yeah.
to Love is Blind. And that was our thing. We'd always order sushi. And then I was like, I brought
Well,
Lourdes
yeah.
into the group. She doesn't
Exactly.
like sushi.
She felt responsible.
we're going to get kicked out.
Yeah. No, the other thing that came to mind as you were saying all that was, wow, that's a lot of information to process at once.
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, so much information.
And it seems like it was just such a blur for a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I think that it was, and also it was hard, because I didn't want to tell anyone for the first trimester. It was just me and Jose, and we were just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other and talking about things. So I think that was kind of the hardest part. I think also getting over that hump of like the first trimester, like, okay, now I feel like more comfortable talking to people and like telling everyone about it. I think that was helpful. Also like learning the different kinds of multiple pregnancies you can have. I had one of the safest, if you will, where they had their own amniotic sac and their own placenta. So they are not competing over like, nutrients.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so you can have the high risk one is, I think it's called like mono, which is like they share the same amniotic sac and the same placenta, and there's a lot of risks with that. Those tend to be identical twins, mine are fraternal, and so that was a a blessing for me because I don't have to worry about them like fighting for food. There's a lot more chances for restricted growth. Your likelihood of having them early, very preemie, is very high. So there's just like so much information that you're learning and that comes out to you. And this is information that I dug up myself. You know, my doctors weren't really like, hey, these are the kind of, they would tell me and then I would like, okay, let me go see what that means, or ask when I was there. But a lot of it is, you're right, it's just an avalanche of information. You know, once you find out.
Okay, so it's one thing to find out that you're pregnant with twins, but then when did you find out that they were boys?
So I found out, shortly after. So what was funny was, they do the genetic testing and all of that stuff to find out what was the sex of the kids. They did it the first time, and because I guess they submitted it wrong and said it was for one, I only got one response back. They're like, it's a boy. And I'm like, but I have 2 babies. So there was like a week that I didn't know. I was like, okay, well, maybe one is a boy and if the other's a girl. And then the doctor's like, well, let's resubmit it and, you know, see what happens and whatever. So they said that sometimes when it comes back as one boy, then that they're identical. And usually when they have separate amniotic sacs and placentas, they tend to be fraternal, but that's not always the case.
So that is like, crazy.
Yeah. So that's something that I didn't know that my maternal fetal medicine specialist or doctor told me. And he's like, maybe they're identical. And you know, they split. He just gave me this really, you know, intense response, but basically that they can split after and they can be identical and have separate amniotic sacs and placentas. So that wasn't the case. They just reran the results and then I found out there were 2 boys. So I mean, to be honest, I didn't have a lot of expectations. So when I found out that there were boys, I was like, okay, they're boys. Maybe part of me wanted to be a boy girl, but now thinking about it in the sense of logistically, that would have been a lot more difficult. Like if they're both from the same sex, same clothes, same, you know, themes, all of that. You don't have to shop for different shoes and colors and sizes and all of these things.
Prices.
Exactly. The pricing of everything. So, and then I have to do 2 separate rooms potentially and just... So in the long run, it resulted fine. But yeah, I didn't really have expectations on the sex of the baby. I was honestly really more worried about the health and wanted to make sure that they came here okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they did get here okay.
Yes, they did get here okay. A little early, but okay.
And they're so cute. How old are they now?
They're going to be 18 months next month.
Eek.
They're a month older. No, younger than
Aurora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got those really cute pictures of you guys pregnant at
your
Yes.
baby shower.
Yeah.
We were pregnant at the same time.
Well, and another fun fact, I manifested your pregnancy.
Yes, you did. I truly believe you did. I truly believe you
did.
did.
Tell me more. I don't know
At
about
this point, I don't even remember how it started, but when you told me, I was like, I manifested this.
Well, Carla said that she had a dream that we were both pregnant at the same time.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so y'all just hang out with witches. Like, maybe I don't want to be a part of this group. I'm just kidding.
Yes, Carla had a dream that we were pregnant at the same time, and then I was just like, I want to be pregnant with Lourdes. Like, I want us to be pregnant at the same time.
Right?
I can't take responsibility for that one. But yes.
But yeah, she was. We were all pregnant at the same time at my baby shower.
Yeah.
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 And now you guys call yourselves
Beach Ass Who Pump.
That's true.
Yes.
Such a great name. In another world, you guys could start a podcast with that name.
Yeah, honestly, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 3 chairs, 3 mics.
I should just leave.
You can see your way out.
If Mommy Millennials doesn't work out, just use my studio here. That's fine.
I mean, will you still do the editing? Like,
That's so funny.
so will you tell us a little bit about how the twins were born?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was...
Does it feel like forever ago now?
It does feel forever ago. And we kind of talked a little bit about this weekend, just how you see yourself like a different person during those times.
Yeah.
I think for me, the pregnancy was fine until maybe halfway through I learned that the boys weren't growing the way that they should have been. So they put me on like partial bed rest. I had to stopped working. I was working part-time, and they put me on a very heavy protein diet to get them to continue to grow. So that was really hard. I also was pregnant in the summer. As Jocelyn knows, that really sucks here. It is a swamp in the DC area. So I stayed home for most of the summer.
Yeah.
And I also ended up getting a little bit of preeclampsia towards the end. So I was a high-risk pregnancy. I was advanced maternal age. I had multiples. So that kind of didn't really help my case in terms of just like the actual birth. My water actually broke. So that's something that I also thought was only in movies, but it happens in real life. And mine did. So we went to the hospital, and we ended up going to one of their twin delivery rooms or birthing suites, which was really cool. And you have the two little spaceship bassinets because they have the little lights and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But it was not horrible. My contractions weren't very strong. So I think I was lucky in that case. It was more of the acceleration of like I wasn't really dilating. So let's get the epidural. It's been 24 hours. You haven't really progressed. And I was fine with that. But because you're monitoring two babies and monitoring two heartbeats, it was constant adjustments because they move and then the little things move. So I could be mobile, which is what I wanted to do. Like I walk around, be on the medicine ball, the peanut ball, all of the things, until they basically said, like, okay, you're not progressing. Let's just keep moving this forward. And I was fine with that. So I ended up doing the epidural. The next morning, they're like, okay, babies are coming. Great. And first baby came at 10:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Everything went really well. Baby was great. And they were like, okay. And they usually put you in the OR just because it's twins and if there's anything that comes up. But the doctor was really confident. It's like, okay, we don't need to go back. We'll get you back to the birthing suite. Baby B didn't want to come out. So the second baby, he was having a great time in there. The nurses were like, he was like, I have all this space. This other child is out. I can just like stretch and move. And that's exactly what happened. They were like, he is not ready to come out. He is not in distress. He was fine.
Chilling.
And the doctor was essentially like, I'm more worried about mom and like you, and that you haven't eaten. You've been pushing. I was like pushing consecutively for almost 7 hours. And he was just not coming out. So, we made the move, and baby B finally came 6.5 hours later. And I ended up having both babies, like, once we moved into the maternity ward, and like with the two babies, I had my two babies there. Everything was great. But the next morning, they do all the tests and everything, making sure that they're okay. And baby B had to go to the NICU. So that was really tough. I think for me, usually you hear that when you have multiples, like one of them or both of them go to the NICU. I had, they were at 35. I had them at 35 in 5 days. So it's not like preemie, but you're kind of on the verge. For twins, and one of them just had low sugar and just low temperature, had trouble keeping up with that. So that was challenging for me at the hospital. I think it was hard for me to go see him because my hormones were all over the place. And my husband did a really good job of going to go see him. It was hard because I wanted to breastfeed and I wanted to be there, but it was so emotionally draining for me to go there and to see other babies. And to be honest, like, my baby was probably one of the ones that spent the least amount of time there. I was grateful that I could leave with him when I was leaving the hospital, so I was able to leave with both babies. I know a lot of multiple moms don't do that, and it is very, very difficult. But I am very, very lucky that I was able to leave with both of them. Either way, it was challenging to not have your baby next to you.
Of course.
And you're just like, I'm bonding with this one baby and my other one is over there. But if I leave him, I'm going to be with the other baby. Will they know? How will this affect them? And, when you're in that state of mind, that everything goes through your mind of like, how will this affect this child? And me bonding with them. I think that was one of the toughest parts of the birth and like, of just getting out of the hospital.
Do you stay in the hospital longer with multiples?
Yeah. So, now with multiples, they usually want to make sure that you're okay. And we ended up like, with insurance and everything, I was able to stay a little longer, but they give you like a limit. And I was praying that I could leave with him, and thankfully I could.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is one of them more attached to you?
I think that they take turns. Sometimes it's baby A. So baby A is usually the one that comes out first. But baby B, his love language is touch. He's very much on top of me, wants to be next to me. If he could hop back inside, he probably would. And baby A is a little more independent, but he does like to snuggle and likes to like jump on me and like, so there's that. They rotate, I think.
So, I mean, they're entering toddlerhood now.
Yes.
When you're pregnant and you think about what is my life going to look like with twins?
Yeah.
Is this what it looked like?
I think I go back to because I didn't have any expectations. I didn't think that far.
That's fair.
It's very, I think, and I'm sure like with motherhood, you take it day by day. If you can't take it day by day, you take it hour by hour. If you can't take it hour by hour, you take it minute by minute. And I think I'm the type of person, and I think Jocelyn, you can relate. It's just like, you're like, all right, what's next? You make a plan. This is the way it's supposed to go. And I'm very much that type A. And having motherhood in general, but having twins allows you to, doesn't allow you, it makes you slow down. And it makes you realize that things will happen the way they will, and that you have to let go and just go with the flow. Like, it's like you're in the ocean. You just got to let the waves come. You got to go with the waves. Don't fight the waves, because if not, you're just going to tire yourself out.
I say that all the time. Ride the wave. Velcro babies are the same. You sent me actually early on because I did plan as much as I possibly could and envisioned as much as I could, and it looks nothing like what I pictured.
Of course.
Manifestation did not work.
In that case.
But early on, you sent me a reel, and it was like,
I remember this.
when Aurora was like really Velcro and I was like just really struggling, right? Like I love the Velcro-ness, but for me, moms talk about being touched out. I would always say, I'm not touched out. I just didn't realize I was touched out because she was always attached to me.
Yeah.
And when I was struggling with that, you sent me something and it said, maybe moms get Velcro babies to teach them to slow down.
Yeah.
And anytime I'm struggling, I'm like, I'm meant to slow down.
Yep.
And, we talk about this a lot. I'm a very anxious person. And another thing that has like made the rounds on the internet is being rushed and making anxious babies.
Yeah.
Right. And my dad is always in a rush too. Right. It was like, he's ready to go. We got to go. Let's go. He goes, move it. Like, like we're on the move. And he's an anxious person too, right? I'm sure Aurora will be anxious. Everyone in my family is anxious, but anything that I can do to mitigate that anxiety or make it better is what I'm here for.
Yep.
And a lot of that is slowing down.
100%. I think it lets to do, that's how I am, and that's how my family is. And my husband's not like that. My husband goes at his own pace. And I think that prepared me.
You have such a good outlook.
It really did. It was frustrating at first because I am very much like that. I'm very like, go. I don't know if you've seen on the internet, just like, did you have a normal childhood, or were you like the first daughter of immigrant parents? Like, you just learn that if you don't know, you figure it out on your own.
The go.
And on the go, but you're on the go, right? You're constantly like, I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out. What's the next step? What's the next step? And I think, my husband is very much like, well, why don't we just like pause and like, or why don't we just, do we have to do this now, and ask me these questions? And I think a lot of it made me reflect a little bit more. He's not trying to control me, but let's take a pause. Like, why are we rushing? Is there a place that we need to be? Also through therapy, a lot of reflecting of like, why am I doing this? And I think, again, having twins, maybe this is for that reason, that I do need to slow down and kind of see where things are and just be present. And that's something that I struggled a lot. And I think anxious people do struggle with being in the moment because you're always thinking of what's next. And I think it really helped me to be like, okay, well, I'm here now. What am I doing now? Let me just be present and not think about what I have to do tomorrow or within the next 2 hours.
So do you still consider yourself type A?
That's such a good question.
Yeah. Because, a lot of people assume that when you're type A, you're type A forever.
Yeah.
I was type A through Mila, and then when I got pregnant with Layla and then I decided not to go back to work, I have become a little bit more type B.
Yeah.
And it's been really liberating, but the type A comes out
Right. That's what I was going to say.
when it needs to come out.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I think it takes a backseat.
It does.
I think it takes
that's a good way of
backseat,
putting it.
because
You like can't always be type A. Even if you wanted
it's exhausting, right? It's exhausting. And I think that motherhood just allows you, if you allow it, right? That's what life is, right? Like things don't go the way that you want it to. You plan your life a certain way. I guarantee you it's not going to happen that way. It might have inklings of what you thought it was going to be, but it's not going to be exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
And I think motherhood really pushes that to the forefront, and just being a mom of multiples amplifies that too.
So much is out of your control,
Oh yeah, of course.
which is so hard for anxious people.
And for type A people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they go hand in hand. They go. I think that's such an interesting question. And I've been thinking as you guys talk, because I think I am type A everywhere except for motherhood.
Yeah.
At work, I think I'm still very much type A.
Right.
With my family, I think I'm still type A. You know, my parents, my sister. With motherhood,
Dare we say type C, baby girl?
girl. Steve gave Aurora Cheetos the other day. A long story. Long story. I get into the car. I was at an acupuncture point. I come out. Her hands are orange. And I'm like, what is going on here? And she's like, otro, otro. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is scary. And my sister was like, you're letting her have the dyes? And I'm like, girl,
Like, she's
the
alive.
dyes right now are the least of my worries. I am not worried about red number 5 or whatever it is in those Cheetos.
I feel like it has shifted though, because when Aurora was younger, well, I don't know,
It has.
right?
Because so much more is out of my control now.
yeah,
And I have a choice. I can either yell at Steve and be like, you couldn't even get the organic Cheetos? Nah, you know? When I know that what happened was he took her to the store to give me a break and let me enjoy my acupuncture session. And she freaked out because I wasn't in the car.
Exactly.
And she was like, chips, chips, chips.
and,
And
like,
what was
I'm just
handy
trying
was
to
Cheetos.
survive out
He said I
here.
opened them in the store. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. And then she's just in her car seat. Chito. And I'm like, se van a dormir los chitos. Ya no hay más. Quizás mañana. She's like, yeah. And she's, bye-bye, Chito. I'm like, sí, bye-bye, Chito. Like, but yeah, like pregnant me would have been like, there's no way
Right.
she's ever having Cheetos.
Right.
And also with grandparents, right? It's so hard. I just have to let go.
You do have to let go. And I think like you have to also embrace the help that you get. And I think that's 100-fold when you have multiples. I made a list when I was pregnant of the things that I knew I needed from people and that I was not going to be afraid to ask. I am always the type of person, I'm the one who's doing things for everyone. And I'm like, okay, this is my time to ask for those things. And I think as moms, we're always like, we can do it. I got it. Again, first daughter of immigrants, you're like, I know what I'm doing. I have the plan. It's like, no, you need help, right? And so I made a list. I'm like, okay, well, I need help with cleaning the house. I need help with doing laundry. We even saved for having a night nurse because I'm like, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
My husband also needs to sleep. Literally, sleep deprivation is a torture device.
Yeah.
Literally. So like, if you're not sleeping well, you're not yourself, and you cannot give your kids 100% if you're not 100%, or at least if like you're at least getting sleep. So that was one of the things that I think moms need to lean into more. Ask for help. And also be aware of who you're asking, right? Like the people and what they can give. So I knew my mom, I love the way she cleans my house. She can clean my house. And she was like, what do you need? Right? I have a list. I don't have to think about it postpartum. It's already there. My mother-in-law come with Tupperware of food. Like, I need this, and these are the things that I need help with. My sister came from LA to come visit and help me and like cook and like help around the house, do errands, all of the things. You have to lean into the like village that you have, because you cannot do it on your own, and you don't have to
Absolutely.
do it on your own, right? And I think it's like, it's hard to ask for help, but you need it. if you have it, and if you don't, you can build it.
I gotta give you kudos, because when I was a type A mom with Mila, I did not think I needed the help, or I tried to convince myself that I didn't need the help. I'm like, I got this, I got this, I got this. I'm gonna organize this, whatever. And I just wonder if you didn't have multiples, if it would have been different, because I put myself in your shoes, and if I had the news that I was having multiples, I would have gone, like, that's my version of type A as well.
Right.
I would have been like, oh no, I need an army to help me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you think it would have been different if you only had one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I would have asked for help, but I would have been like, I can do this. Like, I can do this. This is fine. Yeah. I think it would have been a little different.
Yeah.
But I think going back to like what you need in your seasons of life and like trusting the things that are supposed to come in your life, I think having twins is what I needed to slow down.
I love that.
I love that too.
That's so beautiful.
It's a reminder that we all get the babies we're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, we all get the babies that are going to teach us whatever we need to learn. And that's where I think we go back to riding the wave, because it's so important to just give in and to take it as a learning experience.
Exactly. And it's like you're a first time mom, they're a first time baby, human, toddler.
You guys are figuring it out as you go.
100%. Like, we all don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're just figuring it out on our way.
Absolutely.
I'm just a girl.
Exactly.
I'm just a girl. I'm just a 36-year-old teenage mom.
Exactly.
Like,
That really sent me the other day, hit home for me. I was like, yes, we are just
oh yeah, we're just girls figuring it out.
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yes.
In adult
Yes.
bodies.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes I'll look at her and I'm like, who said I could raise you?
Exactly.
Like,
Okay, so on the topic of slowing down, going back to how you realized you needed to slow down, did you feel like you had any time for yourself? At what point were you out of the newborn trenches where you were like, okay, I can start to breathe a little bit. I can maybe leave the house without one of them with me. When did that shift happen?
I will say that the newborn trenches was rough. I started to see the light at the end of the tunnel at 6 months, which is a long time. I think that the first 3 months was a complete blur. I was very grateful that my husband had parental leave and he was there. The first time I went out without them was actually at Nadine's baby shower. That was like, it was like a
that
month.
was my first time without Aurora too. Yeah.
And I remember driving out and I felt like I was missing limbs.
I cried.
And I was like, this feels weird. I felt very light. It was very physically light. It was very weird. Like, okay, I'm in the car by myself. I'm driving by myself.
Well, and like even pregnant, I assume you weren't driving by yours, because I wasn't driving by myself pregnant often.
Yeah. And it was just very weird. And I remember, like, I only stayed for an hour and a half. I didn't stay very long. And I was extremely overwhelmed. Like, after like leaving, I was just like, I need like quiet. I need like, it was kind of like COVID, right? Like, in the sense of like, you're so insulated that you have control of your environment. You know when you put the music on or music off, food, whatever. But like, you're out and there's noise and this, and it was just like, it was tough. So I think after that, it took me a while to go out, and thankfully our parents were super supportive and were like, pick a day, or we are coming over, you guys go out to eat or to brunch or whatever. And that's what we would do. So we slowly started doing that, and that helped a lot. And I would say for me, myself, to do things was probably around 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what event it was, but I just remember you guys had opposite reactions to leaving babies.
I know exactly what
babies
you're talking about.
at home.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember how it came up, but
It's
I
a me
think-
and you conversation.
was it?
Yes, it was Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And we're like, who's going to host?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wasn't comfortable leaving
Yeah,
Aurora
yeah,
yet
yeah.
because she was refusing the bottle.
Right.
And so we knew it wasn't going to be at your house where it traditionally is. And I said, well, Lourdes has twins. If she wants to host, we should do that. Maybe I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
everything. And you said, just ask her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you think? And you were like, get me away.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
That I can get care.
Yes.
And even then I felt guilty. And Lauren was like, girl, it sounds like she wants to leave. Just take it. Like, she gave it to you. Just take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we ended up at my house.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you walked in and you were like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
like, you know, feeling light. And,
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I don't remember how far along postpartum.
I was probably
you
like
were
2.5, 3 months at that point.
at that point. Yeah. So I just remember feeling very proud of you because that I know it takes a lot of courage to be able to step outside of your environment, like you said, in a sense of comfort zone, right? But also recognizing that you need it.
Yeah.
You needed it, some girl time.
Exactly. And also too, like, trusting in like the care that I know that they were like, my husband knows how to do everything.
You
I can
have
leave.
to,
Exactly.
yeah.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Especially the first 6 weeks. There's a lot that you can't do. And he just knows how to do everything. So when I leave him, I'm not like, oh no, he doesn't know where this is. I'm just like, see you later. Peace. I'm fine. And if he has like my mom or my mother-in-law or, you know, some family member that I trust, I'm fine leaving them. So I think that also has a lot to do with like the comfort level of me being able to go out, because I know his ability and he is not clueless without me. He knows what he's doing and I trust in that ability. And if he doesn't know, he'll figure it out.
Thank God for the populenials.
For real.
I'm telling you, man.
For real.
Millennial dads have shown up.
Yeah.
And, well, not all the time, but our populenials show up. But that's awesome. I think it's so important to have a partner that supports you through all that. And, you know, it sounds like he was made to be a dad of twins as well.
He didn't have a choice.
Yes.
Neither did I, but
Yeah,
here we are.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Speaking of getting out of the house and doing fun things, have you taken up any hobbies that gets your mind off of mom life?
Yeah. So I did ceramics in high school, and I've been like doing it on and off, and it's something that I really enjoy. And I stopped for a while, and in postpartum, my husband was actually the one that really pushed me to do it. He's like, well, why don't you go back and do ceramics again? And I was like, I don't know. It's just like, you know, I'm always thinking budget and costs. I have to buy more supplies. And he's just like, just do it. Just try it. See, you know, how you feel about it. Again, my type A, I'm just like, okay, well, what am I going to make? Like, how is it going to be
practical?
Exactly. Like, am I going to make dishes? Am I going to make, what kind of bowl? Like, what will this be used? If I'm going to make a pot, what plant does it need? You know, started getting into my head again. And I'm like, this completely defeats the purpose. And he's just like, I thought the point was for you to have fun. And I'm like, you're right. It is. The point is for me to have fun. And I kind of took that away of, you know what, I'm just going to do things to do things. And I think that ceramics for me does that. It takes me out of my head and into what I'm doing now. And I think it's a really, it's a hobby for me that I need in this time in my life, but just in general, being the type of person that I am, because I am always in my own head and I'm always thinking ahead. And like when you're doing pottery or ceramics, you are focusing on what's in front of you. And also you don't know what you're making sometimes. And you cannot control the clay sometimes the way that you want it to be. And it won't behave, you know, at some point, right? Like you might make it and everything looks great. You put it in the kiln, it burst open or something chipped, or the glaze that you put in didn't come out the way you wanted it to be. But I think, as cheesy as it sounds, I feel like it is very much a metaphor for life. It's like you think that you have control over all these phases, but you don't know what's going to come out in the end. But you still went through that process. And as long as you enjoy the process, that's what really matters. And whatever the result is the result, right? And I think for me, it's been such a way to release stress and be creative outside of motherhood, and to focus on myself and my creative self has been something that's really been special to me, and that I know that it's just mine and it's mine. And it also referenced back to myself when I wasn't a mom, when I wasn't a wife, when I was, you know, someone, a version of myself in the past that I really enjoyed. And it kind of bringing it to the now. So I think for me, it's like super, super helpful. And I think for most moms, like you have to find something that you enjoy, because there's no point of picking up a hobby if you don't enjoy it, or if you're thinking about like, oh, what is this going to be? It's like, you got to do it just to do it. Everybody's a beginner at something. So you got to pick something that you enjoy. Otherwise, it just completely defeats the purpose of having a hobby.
Well, and I think so many of us are raised not necessarily to not have hobbies, but that's not the goal.
100%.
And
Yes.
it feels selfish a lot of times to have a hobby because we should be working. Right? Like that's how we were raised. That's how we're like, where's the hustle? What are you doing? What do you mean you're going to do something just to relax?
Exactly.
No.
Right. Oh, you like, and you also too, just like the way the society works is like, okay, that's your hobby. It's now your side hustle, right? Like, what am I going to sell this?
So when you start talking, what was going to come out of my mouth was, so when's the Etsy shop opening?
Well, don't think I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you're like, I'm relaxing. And I'm like, like, shut up. You know?
Where are you going to sell these things? Like, what am I, and then like, I'm creating, but not for myself, right? I'm creating to sell.
It takes away the joy from it.
100. And that's what my husband was like. And he said something to me that I thought was really funny. I was making just like cups and things, very utilitarian things. And he's like, well, when are you going to get into the funky stuff? And I was like, what do you mean the funky stuff? Like, abstract. And I'm like, soon.
Can I get an example of an abstract ceramic?
I guess like I'm thinking like not a pot or something that doesn't have to have a use.
Okay.
So like, you can have a vase.
And I've been waiting for my bowl. And
like those really rich houses that have them on a pedestal.
Exactly.
That you're just like,
what is this? What does it?
It kind of looks like a face.
Right. 100, like those kind of
I'll
things.
have that at my house if you make it.
I will. Like,
I'll be like, it's made by a local artist.
Yes.
I
Very
love that.
limited selection. Curated carefully by me.
But like that's, and then, and I have had that want to do that. But then I'm like, for what? For it just to be there? And then he's like, well, why not? And again, going back to the point of like, it slows me down a little bit in a very positive way. And I don't want to say slow down. I think it just gives me pause to look around because I'm always moving. And I'm like, why not? Why not make something that doesn't necessarily have a purpose for someone else, but has a purpose for me in creating and something that I'm proud of to do, right? So that's kind of like for this year, I want to focus on things that are a little bit more abstract that I can do and pieces that take a little longer, but that might be more meaningful for me than just like, making a pot.
I love that so much.
So one of the things we wanted to talk to you about, especially because I think we got a message recently from a mom millennial that's going through something similar, actually the same thing, is transitions.
Yeah.
And you had your babies.
Yes.
You had an amazing job.
I did.
And then, like many people, there were layoffs.
Yeah.
While you were still on leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you see it coming?
I didn't see it coming, and I think that's the toughest part. I know many moms that got laid off just in various industries and that were either in postpartum, were pregnant, and unfortunately, especially in this area, it's just kind of become common. And I think it's tough, especially if you liked your job. And I had a great team. I worked really well with my team. I enjoyed the work that I did. So I think that was the toughest part. But I think it also, again, going back to like the slowing down, it took me a while to realize. And I think there's also like a mourning of like, again, because you enjoy your job. If you didn't enjoy your job and they like laid you off, like I'm sure you're happy about it. And you have kind of a new opportunity. For me, it took me a while to get there. But I think it also opened up something that I didn't realize existed, which is a network of moms, like professional moms that proactively reached out to me and said, hey, I heard this. Please let me know how I can be helpful. I have all of these connections that I can connect you with whenever you are ready. And for me, that was such a surprising, but like it just warmed my heart, really. It really did. And there were people who were saying, I'm here for you, like whatever you need. If you just want to have a coffee, if you need connections or you need help, I'm here when you're ready. And I think that just speaks volumes to the people that you surround yourself with. And also, I think it's sometimes hard to not take it personal when you are laid off because you think it's something that you did. 9 times out of 10, it's not, right?
Yeah.
It's a business decision that comes up way out of your,
By people who don't even know you.
Exactly. So, it's not personal. And I think hearing that from other people and the support for me spoke volumes of, okay, well, I know that I did a good job and that I am valuable. And also kind of separating yourself from your job and your value. There's and I have it printed out in my home office. There's a New Yorker page, and I think it's Toni Morrison that has the 4 different things about work. And one of the things is you do your job for yourself and not for your boss, and your life is here with your family, not at your job. And I think it delineates a lot of different things about work and your value and how you see yourself. And for me, it's like such an important reminder. You can enjoy and love your job and love what you do, but your life is at home with your family. You're not replaceable at home, you know? And I think that is something that really hit home for me in like that stage of my life, and still in the stage of my life.
Where are you in terms of next steps?
Yeah, I mean, I am still really enjoying like being a mom and being home. I'm like picking up different things that I'm doing, trying to learn new skills, which is like, again, my type A popping up, but I need to keep my time busy. And yeah, I'm just like trying to learn new skills. I'm networking with a lot more people. And now that I have the time, reclaiming the things that I enjoy doing. And I miss the work that I do. So I think that's kind of giving me the opportunity to do more outreach. And again, you'd be surprised. Like, I think it's always scary to like reach out to people, you know, and say, hey, like, we worked together this one time, or like, you know, would you like to meet up for coffee? Especially in this town, 9 times out of 10, people always want to meet up for coffee and talk about what they do. And, you know, you never know who knows who and are connected in a way that you don't know. And maybe not even for like a job. It's just like knowing people and just being able to build that community, I think is really important. So I think like for me, it's just like I'm in that phase of spreading out a little bit more now that I feel like I'm a little more myself.
I say all the time, you just need to know one person.
Exactly.
Like, meet as many people as you can, and all you need is one person.
Exactly. Yeah.
To get you wherever you're supposed to be next.
100%. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, they just come from like friendships or acquaintances. The focus doesn't have to be about finding the other job. It's just like, oh, I know this person and I enjoy them. And like, you just, you know, vibe with different people. And usually that's where things come from. So.
That's what people pick, the people that they vibe with. Like,
that's true.
It sucks, but
it's true.
It sucks to an extent unless you're a vibey person. But it's the truth, right?
Yeah,
like all you just need one person to like you and to be
Yeah.
like, oh, they'd be dope to work with.
Exactly.
And then have them, you know, pass it along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you never know when those opportunities come up.
Yeah.
I always hire personality, trained skill, because that's what I think counts more. Your character, you know, how you show up.
Right.
I mean, we need a little bit of skill, but
Of course. But those skills can be learned, right?
Yeah,
It's more about
absolutely.
how you work together as a team.
I was listening to the beginning part of all of that, and I what stuck out to me was how you were surprised about how many moms reached out to
Yeah.
you. And I'm just like, moms need moms.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And like from different stages of life.
Yeah.
Because like when the moms that reached out to me weren't moms that were new moms, or they were moms that already had grown kids.
Older, yeah.
Yeah, that are not in the same stage. But they are moms. I'm sure that they think back to when they were in my place and they're like, I cannot imagine losing my job, you know, at that point. And again, just offering support or just, hey, I'm here if you need anything. It's like, again, one of the most pleasant surprises that I got out of that experience.
I love that. I feel like pregnant women should be protected from layoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know the legalities of it all, but
I just feel like that should be a thing. I mean, I've heard way too many stories of this. And ultimately, so what if a big percentage of moms don't go back to work and, you know, I don't know. I just feel like they should be protected. I don't know. What do you think, Jocelyn?
I mean, don't get me started.
Okay.
Like,
I saw you in my corner and I'm like, does she agree or does she
oh
disagree?
no, like, don't get me started.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think that there's so much already on our plates as mothers, as new mothers, as mothers to be. The last thing that we need is for a wrench like that to be thrown into the equation. It's just so unsettling. It's so unsettling.
And
Sorry.
yes, and businesses don't care, right? They don't see it that way. But being a mom makes you so much better. It makes you so much better at your job.
Yeah.
Yes, for so many reasons, we should be better protected.
Yes.
And this country as a whole doesn't do enough for moms in any
Way,
level.
shape, or
Before you're a mom, when you're thinking about being a mom, when you're pregnant, postpartum, it's a huge systematic issue and failure. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I'll stop myself there because our audience doesn't know this side of me yet. Look me up on LinkedIn.
I'm dead. No, but I do think that it is interesting how even though we're not protected, and the moms that have been through this, they go through this. And they realize that there's a whole new level of resilience that they develop, and you make lemonade out of the lemons, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
you get yourself out of your comfort zone. I mean, would you have been in these groups if this hadn't happened
No.
to you? Networking in general, when you don't have a job title, that's hard.
Yeah, especially in a city like this.
Yeah.
You have to really reimagine and redesign yourself. And I think that's also a big part of motherhood, right? You are redefining who you are as a person, and what does that mean for your family? What does that mean for you as a person in your professional life? And I think it also reshapes your priorities and what you value. And you also want to be able to work with a team that values those things, right? Or you also learn how to build new boundaries. Having this transition and that change in my life, again, adds to the slowing down of things. And I think that's the season that I'm in my life, that things are just a little slower. And sometimes it's hard because I'm just like, oh my God, when are things going to pick up again? But like, I know that I'm going to look back at some point when things are going really fast and I'm like, wow, that time in my life was nice because I was able to enjoy certain things that happen with my twins now that if I was working full time, I probably wouldn't notice or enjoy. And I'm just going through the motions of, all right, come home, feed, bottle, bed, I eat, I go to bed, and all of those things. And it's just like any other day, versus now I have a little bit more time to sit and play and talk to them and hear them babble and just be more present. And I think
The food.
Yes.
You have become quite the chef.
Yes. Yeah, I make food for my kids.
What I'm hearing is Love is Blind at Lourdes' house.
with mini blueberry pancakes.
That's what I was gonna say, with those salmon bites or whatever.
Listen, that sounds delicious. I'm here for it. If nothing else, Lourdes, those boys are going to grow up and be so proud to have you as their mom.
Thank you. I hope so.
And I feel like you're going to have so many stories to tell them, and you're going to be proud of the journey that you went down.
Yeah. Yeah, I am already. So
Yeah.
Well, I remember when you told me you were pregnant and that they were boys. I was like, I couldn't imagine a better boy mom.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just couldn't imagine a better boy
Special
mom.
person.
And in all of this conversation, it makes me think about and reflect on our responsibility to show our children how to tackle adversity. And wow, what a great example.
Thank you.
And such an important example, I think, for boys.
Yeah.
In this world that is trying to like poison boys and their minds and make them think that everyone is against them.
Right.
It's so important to have examples of adversity.
Right.
And how to overcome and how to stay positive and, live in the moment and take all of the good things in whatever, cards you've been dealt.
Yeah, 100%.
Go Lourdes.
Thank you.
Okay, before we sign off, what do you want moms to know?
I want moms to know that always ask for help. You're not doing this by yourself, and there's more people that want to help you than you think, and that there's more people that care about you than you think. And if you're a mom of multiples and you're in the newborn trenches, I love you. You're doing great. And believe it or not, you might miss them when they're newborns, even if they're toddlers. But I'll pray for you. But you're doing great, Mom and Dad.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Lourdes, for being here. We have talked about this for a while now, and this was amazing. You dropped so many nuggets.
Oh, thank you.
And we can't wait to have you back.
Thank you. It was
in
an
the
honor to be
future.
here. Thank you.
Yay! Go team.
Go team, go. That's a wrap.
Awesome.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the Mom Millennials community. If you liked this episode, hit that follow button, connect on our socials, and don't forget to share with other mommies.
Want more? Head to our website, read our blog, grab some merch, and check out our other episodes. Until next time, bye.